Cat kicked out. Goodbye, cat. Goodbye, cat. Getting kicked out. All right. Why does my... I'm just looking at my VU meters here, and my audio looks quiet. Yeah, as I tip over stuff. My audio looks quiet. Ah, there we go. It looks like I... just by a tiny bit. I nudged a thing. I nudged a thing when I was adjusting another thing yesterday. So. Oh, I should tweet. I should tweet. I should do that thing you're supposed to do. I guess I could just get the actual auto tweet thing set up, which would probably be the sensible thing to do, so that it just does it for me. And then I could just pre-write the tweet. Like Twitch has this integration. It lets you do it. Okay, there we go. So, I've been reading The Stolen Sun by Emil Pitaya. I'm halfway through. So this is 1967 novella written by a dude who was born in 1915. So it's only 136 pages long. I'm on page 66. And I think as of 2 pages ago, I finally have a grasp on maybe what the plot is. I think I finally found the plot at the halfway mark. So there's that. I'm not going to say that everything before that was a waste, just that it's been a bit of a confusing ride. So that's it's been a bit of a confusing ride. Going through the book. The entire first section is, I guess, so the first the first part 1, called The Time Gap, is 40 pages long, almost. And I don't want to say it's irrelevant, because based on what I understand of the plot, it's gonna tie in some way, but it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I guess the important part of part 1 is all character building, but it spends very little time actually building character. It just mostly drifts between incomprehensible purple prose and more incomprehensible purple prose. Wayne's hand went out and snapped the umbilical switch. Chuck's face vanished while its amiability changed abruptly into a mask as he too blended with his manship. The eggs the ships would lay were cushioned deep in their bellies. When the target was near enough, Wayne would push buttons and the light sound bombs would plummet onto a remote area of the Mafidi planet. When the manned ships were safely out of range, the timers would activate and the eggs would spume out a beautiful self-propelling flame, a screaming river of flame which would presently and in a very short time cover the whole planet, killing every trace of life on it. It's page after page after page like that. But I guess the point of it sort of. So part one doesn't really make any sense until like the last 2 pages, when Wayne finally kind of snaps over his role as like genocide bomber, and then sets his oh god. The totality of the desolation ahead left only one thing to do, and he did it. His hand was rock steady when he reached out for the lever marked time skip. If Lady protested, Wayne was beyond hearing it. Time skip had carried man, capital M, living into the stars. 17 of the gauge numbers were used with varying frequency, but past the halfway mark, cued danger in specific warning letters, was a lot of time jump that meant nothing yet. Wayne almost smiled as, with one calm, swift pull, he brought the lever all the way around past 17, past 100, where the numbers crowded closer, past 1,000, all the way to eternity. I don't have a good visual sense of what literally any of that looks like, or why it exists, or, I mean, it's called time skip, so, I guess just all the starfighters are, all the bombers are equipped with a time skip lever that lets you just crank it all the way to eternity. So yeah. Yeah, you can pull the time skip lever all the way to eternity. Even though they, I like that the book's like, we don't use any numbers past 17, but it goes all the way up to eternity. So he does that, and then goes back in time, question mark. It takes, so of the like 20 pages between the end of that and where I am now, he only sort of came to understand. So on page 61, he sort of pieces together. So like, yeah, 20 pages later, almost, he pieces together that like maybe he's gone back in time, question mark. So yeah. Well, this is Amy. We're on week 8 of our speed run. We're gonna load save data 6. We're gonna see what happens this week. Maybe we'll get some surprise bugs. You know, we got a surprise bug last week. That was pretty entertaining. Yeah. So, how's everybody feeling about this? How much lower do you think you can get the time? Personally, if nothing, okay. Now with an ideal, so if nothing goes wrong and everything goes right, with the fact that chapter 4 can just be randomly skipped by the game, that you can, on a lucky run, just not have to do chapter 4. The theoretical time is now like 38 minutes, but yeah, the chapter 4 glitch has so far not been reproduced. I tried a bunch of things with it, and I couldn't reproduce. So 40 is kind of a realistic best. The book is The Stolen Sun by Emil Pitaya. TFH show. The Stolen Sun. I'm going to put that in chat. The Stolen Sun by Emil Pitaya. So yeah. Oh man, if we could get a repro skip that we could just not do chapter 3, that would be great. Apparently this book actually has some pretty good reviews on, like, not Goodreads, but someone was mentioning on Twitter earlier that they were surprised at how many, like, that on another site it actually had like a 4.5 rating or something like that. It's not very good, but I'm hesitant to say that it's bad. But I also... It's very confusing, but it's also short. Like, it's only 136 pages. I only started it earlier this afternoon, and I had a bunch of other work to do. I played some Enter the Gungeon, and I took a nap, and I'm halfway through the book. So, yeah, despite how confusing it is, it's a pretty quick read. So yeah. And because of that, because it is a quick read, I feel willing to be a little bit more forgiving of it. Like, I'm gonna wait for it to kind of finish before I make any, like, judgment on it. I mean, the one judgment I can make right away is that, like, the prose is super purple. So yeah. It says, yeah, this is the third book in the series. I would assume the others are just as ridiculous. In fact, all right, this will be the last thing before we start the run. So I haven't read the other two, Saga of Lost Earths and The Star Mill, but Emil included a summary of them in the front of the book. So, my first novel of the heroic world epic Kalevala Fantasies concerned the romantic young hero Karl Lempe, prototype of the Lemminkainen, the Adonis warrior. My second, carried forward in time 1,000 years, swept Ilmar of the Copperbeard, Ilmarian of the Wondersmith, out into the black stars to battle with the Star Witch of Pohjola in an effort to destroy her perverted star mill of infinite power. And then a few pages back, about 10 pages back, these characters from the other books show up and give a, like, summary of what they did, and it didn't make any sense. So I would assume the other ones are, like, just as bug nuts as this one. Yeah. All right. So I think it's time to go. Okay. Amy. Limbered up my hands. If anyone picks up this round, we have to actually verify runs because someone just edited out chapter 4. Oh, yeah. Huh. Oh, that's a good point. All right. Well, let's go. All right. 3, 2, 1, start. So this is Amy, published in 2012 by Vector Cell and developed by someone else. Or is it the other way around? I don't remember. I'm eating a cheese bun as we do this run. It's going to be a new kind of, complication. So the chapter 4 skip, we don't know entirely how it worked, but basically it loaded chapter 5 instead of chapter 4. So the way to verify it would be that in a Actually, no, I'm not going to say how to verify it, because that would also tell someone how to, like, fake it. Yeah. All right. So, skipping that, we're going to take a jog down this way. Grab our stick. I didn't get the stick. Got the stick. Starting off at just a great pace here. Not running properly. and not getting the stick. All right, we're gonna climb down. We got our first zombie. We got our first cult zombie. So there's a glowing symbol on the zombie's head. Don't worry about it. It will never be explained. It will never be explained. We know nothing about it, and we will never be told what or why. It will not make any sense by the end. Well, come on. So combat is unfortunately kind of it's just a game of swing and dodge, and it's random whether the zombies will dodge, and if they dodge, you miss, and if they dodge 5 times in a row, you miss 5 times in a row. That's it. That's it. So this, we originally played it for Halloween, but actually it's a Christmas game. The game takes place at Christmas. If we had watched the opening cutscene, which we're not going to ever again, because it's awful and bad, we would be told that it is in fact Christmas Eve. And Lana here, our protagonist, has bought Amy, the eponymous character, a fancy future iPad. So we are in a near future sort of setting, and we're standing at this door waiting for Marcello to catch up to us. I'm hoping. Oh yeah, there we go. Here, he's coming up. So he's going to tell us about this lock here, that this is a genetic lock. So he's going to hand us this DNA cracker, and we're going to take it from him, and we're going to sync it with the lock, and then we're just going to take off, and we're going to run. So you can see on my mini-map down in the bottom right that a number of pips have popped up. There's 4 of them. So these are all of the DNA sources in the area, and we're not going to deal with any of them except for the one that we want. Fortunately, these are not random, so it's always the correct answer is always in the same place. So we can just run onto the train and sync our DNA cracker with the train conductor's blood. And if you're sharp-eyed, you may notice that his body is gone, and he's actually in this room just off to our left. Sometimes he'll come out into the hall. A lot of times he'll come out into the hall. This time he just decided to stay in his room. So we're gonna thank him for that. He can cause a traffic jam if he does come out. So then we get to our first mastermind puzzle of the game. Now we actually in this case can sync or we can start moving the cursor before the symbols even load, and you can in fact enter your answers before the symbols even load. So you need to be careful with the buttons, with how you're pressing them, or you can end up using up all 5 of your tries before anything has actually loaded. But it means that in a speedrun scenario, we can actually change the symbols before they actually load and start testing combinations. Now we're going to come into this washroom, and we're going to meet Amy, and we're going to be exposed. Now we get to deal with the main mechanic of the game, which is holding Amy's hand. Most of the challenges that we're going to face in this run are going to revolve quite specifically around holding Amy's hand, because Amy on her own, she will follow us, but she's pretty slow. Now in casual play, that's not too much of an issue, because in casual play, as this is survival horror, you're probably going to be moving, relatively slowly yourself. But we want to go fast, so we don't want to wait for her. Now, one of the great things about that is that if you're holding Amy's hand, you can run at full speed with her, and she will go the exact same pace. The downside is that it's really easy to lose her on walls, on planters, on debris, on corners, on really just about anything. So yeah, it can navigating with her. And if she gets pulled out of your grip, then you either need to wait for her to catch up, or you need to go back and get her. And either way, it turns into a time loss. So anywhere in the game that we can leave Amy behind, we generally will, because if you don't need her, then she can stay. So this is one of them, because we're going to get up to this obstacle that we need to cross, and we can't bring her with us across this obstacle anyway. So no need to bring her along. She'll catch up on her own. Now, so far we've been pretty lucky with the random zombie spawns. There's a guy around the corner here. We might have a visitor waiting for us, and he's not there. All right, Steve wasn't waiting for us. So that's good, because Steve tends to be a slightly higher power zombie, if that makes any sense at all. Basically, he takes 3 to 4 hits to kill instead of 2, which is what most of the Steves take. So this is one of the main things that we will be engaging with in the game, is these puzzles where we need to shove Amy into a confined space and then get her to do things for us from remote, and then we just get her back out. All right. So we had Amy throw that switch. Get used to the idea that switches are going to be nowhere near the things that they actually do. So here's a moment where Amy is behind me, and now we need to get her back. But it's not too much of a problem right here. Like, that wasn't actually a time loss, because this room is a little bit tricky. If you get too far ahead of Marcello, his AI breaks, and he just runs around in circles. So you've got kind of a hard, limit on this section. Like, there's an amount of time that it's going to take, kind of regardless. Especially since we'll get to the end here, and we'll get to this button, and now we need to wait for Marcello to get through the gate before. Yeah, there you go, losing Amy on walls. We need to wait for Marcello to get through that gate and open this door with his magic key, even though there is no animation that has him actually do that. And then we put Amy on this elevator, climb up the ladder. The game developers were super kind. They were super conscientious of our needs speedrunning this game, and they let us skip the ladder sequence just by hitting start button, so you don't actually need to wait for the ladder animation. All right, making sure Amy is on her elevator, skip down our ladder, and then sometimes if you call her, Amy will just jump off the elevator. All right, and around the corner. I didn't cut that quite as hard as I wanted to, but we're at a good time. We're just a little over 10 minutes. We're at call it 10:20, getting into this dialogue. So we're at a good time for chapter 1. Now, one more thing that we got to do is go hide under this desk, and there we go. Now we need to wait for Marcello to have a little dialogue about how he's not infected. And now we can wait in suspense. Alright, Marcello dies in the cutscene. So chapter 2. after this loading starts, Amy runs off in the cutscene that we're not going to bother watching, as things go to hell with the soldiers, and yeah, and yeah. A pretty substantial chunk of the speedrun is in fact waiting for loading screens. I haven't done the exact math, but it's I think my last estimate was about 15 to 20%. I think about 15% of the run is just waiting on loading screens. A little forced jump scare at that door there. One of the super secret speed techs that we use in this run, you just saw there. You blink and you miss it, but there is a picking up animation. Oops, hit that a little quick. There's a picking up animation, but it doesn't trigger if you're sprinting. So if you sprint over the key card, then the animation doesn't play, and yeah. So now the ogre has come out of these doors, and we're gonna run in through there. Now the intended behavior is that you get right back into the locker that Amy was hiding in, but that takes time, so we're just gonna go to the next thing. Now we do need to wait for him to get around that corner a decent ways, otherwise when we break this window, the ogre will aggro onto us. Now we get our first of the second kind of zombie, the Jared Leto. Jareds take 3 to 4 hits to kill, just like upgraded Steves, but they also have a slightly different attack pattern and they do more damage. So upgraded Steves take 3 to 4 hits, but do the same amount of damage as normal Steves. Jared Leto's all take 3 to 4 hits and all do more damage than Steve's. All right. So, come on, Amy. Grab my hand. Grab my hand, Amy. If you can hear, you might be able to hear in my controller or in my mic that I'm rapidly tapping controls an awful lot. That I'm doing a lot of control spamming. That's because much of the control scheme involves just pumping the buttons. All right, so we got to that control switch, and then we reloaded because it is actually on a saved game. So we're playing off of a saved game, and off of a saved game, it is in fact faster to just reload from the checkpoint than it is to wait for the game to load and open the door. And you can see that as we come around into that little mini cutscene, that some of the elements haven't yet reloaded. And now what we're going to do is we're going to reload again super fast once we sync with the genetic lock, because we are in a room with a soldier who can insta-kill us and there's nothing we can do about it. But because we hit a checkpoint, the game is going to assume that we have completed all of the necessary puzzles that would normally be required to get Lana safely to that genetic lock. So the soldier teleports to his next station, and we can just book it for our next goal. That puzzle right there is somewhat notorious in a casual run, in a blind run. If you don't know how that puzzle behaves, those laser mines there, they are quite infuriating. The game doesn't tell you how to actually take care of them, how you're supposed to get past them, and the actual solution Oh, and here I am hitting wrong buttons. That was pretty bad. Alright. The actual solution is you're supposed to walk really slowly through these. And, but nothing in the game actually communicates that. So it's a little bit infuriating. And then we discovered when we started actually doing the speed run, as we were routing it, I believe it was Vexel or Ship Toaster who figured out that we can actually just run through them full bore, and they will only shock you once, because all of the mines on this level are glitchy and they will only shock you a single time. So if you manage to get past the initial entry point into the mine, from there you can go. You can just walk right through that. So it was Vexel who found that. Okay, so we're gonna reload at that checkpoint as well. We don't need Amy here, so we're just gonna book it. Now, normally you're gonna wait for this guy. You're gonna wait for that Jared Leto to come around the corner and get shot by the soldier, but we don't need to do that, like, at all. And by getting into this room fast enough, we bypassed an entire cutscene. So we're making good time here. And we're gonna reload again, because this will now solve 2 or 3 puzzles that we were supposed to do, getting us the orange key card, which allows us to get back out of this room.
Go take a look at it, will you? Now we just need to find that server room, Amy. We're going to cut this ground.
All right, so we've got the green key card that we need to get into the server room, and then we're going to make sure we push that soldier so that he doesn't just shoot us. And then because we reloaded the checkpoint, we have the orange key card to open that door, even though the orange key card is in this room off to the left and we didn't get it at all. Now we're going to just pump ourselves full of drugs so that we're actually in a healing state and we don't need to worry about navigating around those. And then we'll... end a chapter. Skip the cutscene. Take a bite of my cheese bun. All right, coming up on Chapter 3 here. Chapter 3 is currently my nemesis. I have there's a lot of inconsistency with it. I personally end up losing a lot of time here to just kind of every little thing that happens. So this is the frustrating one. This is the frustrating one for me, but we'll hope that it goes pretty well. I'm going into it at 20 minutes, which is actually a great time. A great time going into Chapter 3. You're doing really well. Set for a non-glitch personal best, which is actually kind of funny, seeing as I've been doing really bad at, like, I've been losing just seconds to like every cutscene. Okay, so this is the first time in the speed run that we're going to encounter Amy's magical psychic powers. They technically came up in the previous chapter, but we bypassed them entirely. So we didn't see them. And in fact, in the run as a whole, we have routed out one of Amy's powers entirely. We won't see it at all. So that's kind of fun. Also, you may notice that this chapter, one of the things that I really don't like about it is it has a number of those spots where it's like, okay, you need to go You need to go up this crate, and you need to lift Amy up the crate as well, and you need to do it 3 times in a row. And they're super obnoxious when you're speedrunning, because Lana will let go of Amy's hand
That's good.
during each of the lifting cutscenes. So you need to make sure that you're holding Amy's hand, because if you're not holding Amy's hand, then it doesn't, then Lana climbs up on her own, and you need to climb back down and get Amy, and then climb up with her. One of the funnier bugs in the game, or I shouldn't say bugs in the game. There's a lot of funny bugs in the game. One of the funnier, yeah, I guess it's a bug in the game. Funnier bugs of the game that comes up in the speedrun is this ladder right here. We're going to do our normal ladder cutscene skip, but if you do it too fast, it glitches out, and the camera, the script for the camera move is separate from moving Lana, so it will, if you do it too suddenly, the camera will still go through. The camera will still go through the motion of. Oh, all right. I'm gonna have to. All right, this is part of what you lose time on. Unfortunately, these mines on Chapter 3 are not nearly as forgiving as the ones on Chapter 2. So that's unfortunate. But it's all gonna be okay. Oh. I went too fast. Oh. No, come on. Oh no. Yeah, spamming the button there actually caused me a problem, because Amy registered both of them. All right. Get Lana to stab herself in the neck, pump herself full of drugs while we ride the elevator back down. And now the most obnoxious part is getting back across the room, because we need to go fetch Amy. All right, so a whole bunch of Jared Letos came out when we went up the elevator, and it introduces us to Amy's super infinite power glyphs, of which I believe there is only one in the game. I can't quite remember, but I'm fairly certain there's only one of them. All right, and oh, hey, that guy shocked himself to death. Thank you. And we're actually doing all right with getting through this one. All of the Jareds have cooperated, and they're standing in good locations that make it. All right, yeah. Oh yeah, we're good. I think that was all 4 of them. That's really good, because now we don't need to deal with them at all on our next trip back across the room. So all right, now we need to go. We're going to go back to the beginning of the level, so we need to go down those 3 crates, but fortunately on the way down, it's a little bit easier. Also, we've got the green key card, so we can use that terminal. So what we're doing here is we're refilling Amy's power wheel. She can only get 2 charges of that force push ability, right now, at least off of that glyph. So we're going to recharge it, which is going to allow us to skip the next puzzle entirely. So even though it takes a pretty decent amount of time to back up like that, between skipping the next puzzle and not needing to navigate these mines on the way back through, it's a net time saver. Now my most hated. All right, we got good. I'm getting good at not having it happen. About until I figure out a way to kind of avoid it. All right, we just want to double check, make sure there's a glitch where she can lose her powers right there. But what'll often happen back at that ledge is you'll climb up it, and then Amy will fall immediately off. So there we go. Actually, we want to leave Amy there and then go get... I didn't actually need to call her, but I had accidentally hit a button, so I needed to cancel it. Otherwise, she would have followed me all the way over to the elevator, and we would have had to wait for her to trundle back to the button, because we need her to send Lana up, and then we're gonna spam a button while we're walking up here just to call Amy to us. Even though she can't get up here, she will follow us down below, so she'll be waiting closer to this gate that we need to open. And yeah. Now you can see off to the left there is an art on the wall. It is probably the funniest art. It is an art that is there purely to fall off and scare Lana. That is its job. That is its role. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get Amy to refill at that, and then Lana's just gonna come around here and wait for Amy to be done what she's doing. All right. And now we're just kind of overlapping all of those because we've got there's a cutscene or a bit where we've got a platform that's moving, and now while it's moving, Lana can't do anything, like she's locked in place. You can cancel out of watching the cutscene by using Amy's powers or by like summoning her power wheel, but you can't. Oh. We made our train on time. So yeah, so if we overlap all of them, because we can use Amy's powers at the same time, so that's, since Lana can't move, it's kind of a good time to... It's a good time to do all of that and break all of those boards. And it's actually safer to break them from the ground than from up on top of the catwalk. And we want to get good position here. We want Amy in our right hand because it makes it easier to navigate this segment here. It's easier to get around that debris with Amy in your right hand, and it is easier to get into this area once we're in this area. So we come down here, there's a soldier. This is a stealth puzzle where you're supposed to sort of ghost behind the soldier around all of these crates and navigate over into this train, or you can just run. You can just scrape Lana's face along the side of the train and run right on into it. Right on into it. All right. So chapter 4, I didn't see. I only cut the slightest glimpse of the cutscene, but I think I saw the train. So we are in fact going to do chapter 4. It's not going to randomly skip it for us. It's okay. I was kind of hoping it would jump it again, just to really seal this lead. But no, chapter 4 is pretty much the shortest. It's one that we've managed to trim the most time out of. It's got some really fun skips. Unfortunately, the first skip in chapter 4 is super swag, but it's also really hard to pull off. So usually I just kind of go for it, and if it doesn't happen, I don't even bother trying it again, because you can easily the stakes of messing it up are you lose about a minute every time you mess it up. All right, so chapter 4 here. We're in a train station. We're gonna send Amy down to the far side of the train to hit a button for us, and she's gonna push that and open the door, and we're gonna run right through the door before it finishes opening. And all right, fingers crossed, and we got it. So if you take a shock, you can bounce into the walkway, and then if you do that, you're on the walkway without needing to actually do the shuffle across. All right. Oh, wrong button. Okay, take care of this Steve, and grab the key card, open the door. All right, zipping up the stairs. Okay, we got our buddies Dave, Bob, and Doug McKenzie up here. We're going to take care of them, and both of them are going to go down in nice short order. Good for them. Thank you for cooperating. All right, now we've got an insta-kill brush right here that we're just going to kind of quickly dodge around, and then dodge past those others, hit the checkpoint, reload from the checkpoint, and bypass a good 50% of the level. Because now, instead of needing to go through a whole area down underneath where we need to get Amy and we need to bring her back up and we need to recharge her powers, she's just here with us. And so we put her into the Amy hole here, and now we just have to wait for her to open the door from the other side. So it's supposed to be a zombie gauntlet. It's a forced combat space where you gotta defend yourself at the door while the clock is ticking and you're waiting for Amy. But we're just gonna run back down to this end of the hallway because it's safer, and we get a couple Steves in denim jackets, and we're not too worried about these Steves because we got a crowbar, and so a crowbar will take these guys out in one hit. And it's getting to be time. All right, come on, Steve. Okay, we got a train to catch. And end of level. All right. Chapter 5. Chapter 5 has some good memories for me at least. I feel like it may be for everybody else who's been following this speedrun, because Chapter 5 has seen some of the most dramatic changes. Chapter 5 is the culmination of all of the mechanics and all of the abilities that we have learned over the previous 4 chapters. It is a test of your mastery of Amy. So, with that in mind, I want you to really, really concentrate on all of the many, many things. And I'm spending a lot more time hyping this up because we've got this loading screen that is a lot longer than I think it is. All right, so mastery of pushing crates. Mastery of hitting zombies with crowbars. Mastery of a mechanic that we didn't actually show you at all because we just ran past the guy that we were supposed to sneak past. Yeah, on that last level, if that was what the last level actually taught us, was that if you're at a certain infection level, the zombies will ignore you as long as you don't run. So that's what this is testing right now. And then we've got a whole puzzle on the other side of this barrier here, where we need to test, like, it tests your mastery of Amy's silence bubble, it tests your mastery of Amy's mind bullets, it tests your mastery of avoiding all of these zombies. If any one of these sees you, if they suspect that you're real, they don't come over and attack you. You just lose, and you're back to the last checkpoint. And so all of that, we are in the midst of that, and we are going to do exactly none of it. We are instead going to just joyfully wander, and once we're across that shadow on the ground, we're good to just book it. Just right on down here. We're going to grab that key car off the ground, and we're going to reload from the checkpoint. Oh, hey, Amy. Thank you for joining us. All right, grab my hand. Oh. Alright, shockwave. Knock those boards. So those boards collapsing are going to alert this soldier. And we're going to need to hide in this locker. And we'll just reload from checkpoint. This one doesn't save a whole lot of time. About 8-10 seconds-ish, maybe. But it just makes things a little, it does save time, and it makes things a little less frustrating. And there you go. There's Amy getting violently yanked out of Lana's hand by a doorway. We are good guardians. We are really good at taking care of this poor girl. All right. And yeah, there we go. Thank you. Amy's cooperating and jumping off of elevators for us. Okay, we're gonna turn her lantern on because we're going down. We're going down into the dark, into the mandatory sewer level. And we're gonna grab that crowbar on the way past, just because we're gonna lose Amy on a pillar. That's unfortunate. All right. Stick her under this grate. Go on. Go on, Amy. Oh, there's... Oh, that sounds... That sounds good. Okay, all right. Vex in chat is telling me that there's a... that you can, in fact, just run off of that ladder with Amy as well, if you go at it full tilt. So... yeah. All right. So we're going to have Amy reclose this gate here. We can't close it, but Amy can close it. And if Amy closes it, also we can't reopen it. We need Amy to reopen it. But if this gate is closed, then the zombie gauntlet that just spawned, all of their pathfinding glitches out, and 19 out of 20 times, they will just stand where they spawn and do nothing. And as with all of the previous genetic locks, our point is predetermined. So we can just go straight to where we need to be, and then back, unlock the door, unlock the door, unlock the door, open the door, and we don't need Amy to get to. Amy is not relevant to the trigger for ending the level, so we don't need her. All right. Just skipping on through that cutscene, waiting for it to load. Waiting for it to load. There we go. So in the cutscene that we didn't watch, the doctor from the institute that Amy was being held at, who has been chasing us this entire time, he got infected and electrocuted and turned into Willem Dafoe. So we are up here in the hospital getting ready for Willem. And so we're just going to run around, grab a couple supplies, and lay a trap, which is putting... It says it's a defibrillator, but it doesn't look like one at all. So we're just going to put that in this water puddle, and we're going to stand here and wait for Willem. And there he is. So that whole time from the start of the level up until him coming out of the elevator, that's pre-timed, so there's nothing, you have a time span to get everything set up in, and then you're good to go. All right, we're gonna get into our power stance, and he's gonna shuffle on towards us, and all right, give him a good whack in the head, and then give him a little bit of a wide berth as we run back. So doing that, getting him shocked, tripped the breakers, so we need Amy to set the breakers back. The camera is very frustrating, but that time it actually worked in our favor because we were able to just kind of run a path around him and not get hit. And we'll stab ourselves in the neck just because our infection is going up a good bit. All right, give him another good whack in the head. And yeah, back through the door. All right, hey Amy, those breakers, can you hit them again? All right, good stuff, Amy. Good stuff. All right, maybe give him a little push just to make sure he doesn't whack us in the head. And we'll turn our defibrillator on again. Try not to get ourselves, and time. Holy crap! 45-16. Oh my. Oh yeah. Oh. I didn't want to mention it at all as we were going into chapter 6. I didn't want to mention it at all going into chapter 6.
Knowing what was wrong was halfway to making her better. Whatever he's looking for, he was willing
I was afraid I would jinx it. Oh,
I had kept my
no
promise
more
to her.
asterisks by the time.
She was in good hands now. But somehow I knew it wasn't over. Amy has become a part of me, and I won't let anyone hurt her. Not anyone. Ever again.
Eating that cheese bun with pride. Well, actually, with that, because there is an asterisk, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and add the asterisk to week 7. Oh, I'm happy. I am so happy with that. 45-16. So this game, Vector Cell. It's only from 2012. Sorry, just responding to Crystal. Those of you who watch my normal run know her, or watch my Monday show would know her. Just telling her beat my own world record without a wild. Nice. 45. 45-16. 45-15. No, I hit it when the the hit connected. My usual time timing time. So, I guess for people, since there's some people who haven't really seen this before, the end time is when the hit, that last hit on the boss fight, actually connects, purely because the game is bad and glitchy, and it is possible for Lana to be halfway through the attack animation and just stop. So, because of that, because she can just randomly bail out of the attack animation, or Willem Dafoe can break out early and knock her out of it. You can think that you have entered your last input, but not actually have entered your last input. And because the lag between last input and then the animation actually breaking, like, it's a good, half second. Like, it's long enough that you're gonna, you have time to process it and feel like, oh, I'm safe. And then it'll just stop, and you've put the controller down, and then it's like, oh no, crap, I need to keep playing. And yeah, it's because of that, it is less. It's becoming less common as I just get better at more consistently being the right distance away from him. I think that's kind of what ends up screwing it up, is that if your positioning is bad. So it hasn't happened to me in a while, but I know it can happen. So that's what. So that's the marker That's the marker there. And oh, I don't know if I want to do a second run after that one. Anything's going to be disappointing. So maybe let's so yeah. So we've been trying to figure out what happened last week with chapter 4, and to the best of what we've been able to come up with, at least as far as I understand it, the best of kind of what's in my mind with what I've tried is that either it was just a supremely arcane combination of like very specific events that would in theory be replicable that caused it, or it was actually just pure random chance that something broke. And yeah. Oh, the ladder clip in chapter 5. That'd be a good one, since that's a thing that I haven't done that would probably shave another couple of seconds. So, all right. Oh, I missed fan art. Sorry, I got really focused there. I made a fan art. Sumiyoshi. Oh, there it is. Okay, that okay. I'm gonna link this back to chat so that chat can see it if they missed it. Repost. Okay, Vex already reposted it. I gotta say, I really appreciate that the room is empty, thus implying the most likely reality that, like, yeah, let's be honest, this would be a like 2 a.m. time slot. I admire the attention to detail. All right, knock that guy out. You know what? There's a bunch of people here. I'm kind of half tempted to do at least. Oh, she got through. Okay, no, Amy, stay. Also, that chapter 5 run, in that run, like, that was, everything just kind of worked out in that everything was where it's supposed to be. Like, I came around the corner and Letterman jacket dude was already turning away from me. Like, the timing and all the small details was just great. All right. I'm kind of half tempted to. Oh wait, no, I can show people the silence bubble once we hit the checkpoint, for people who have never actually seen it because they didn't watch the casual run. Also, I use this shadow as the marker spot. I think it's actually, no, I think I'm about right with that it's where you need to be in order to not trigger them. All right. And back to checkpoint. Yeah, Vex, that chapter 3 was really good. I mean, so a good chunk of it, I mean, I got really lucky with all of the, I feel like I just got really lucky with all of the Jareds behaving themselves and being kind of... Actually, wait a second. What if I... No, no, he triggers regardless. Figures. Figures that you can't actually use the game mechanics to solve puzzles. Why would you do that?
Amy, I know
All
you're
right.
scared, but I'm going to get you to the hospital. You'll be safe.
Okay, that brought Lana down. Is okay. There we go. All right. All right. I can replicate that. Let's just do that a couple more times. What's the name of that PS3 game with the robots that's a third-person shooter and it's aggressively mediocre? That honestly describes about half of my PS3 games. So, oh, we can just reload from. All right. Well, I've already gone through the effort of sending her up. It's gonna be faster just to wait at this point. All right, Amy, Amy, come on. All right. Oh, that's super easy. That's super easy. Yeah, you just bring yourself. You just. All right, Amy, in your right hand, jam yourself into the corner right by the elevator and go. Super simple. All right, that's good. That it only saves a couple seconds, but it saves a very frustrating few seconds because you know there's a flow that we've otherwise got going in this level. All right, so let's go back to checkpoint and yeah. Okay, let's see. So from the checkpoint, Amy's going to be on our left. And
You'll be safe there. I promise.
okay, so she's got to be on the right. Yeah, she's got to be on the right. No, it won't let you skip the guard because you don't even get to the ladder before the guard. Or wait, you know what? Huh. Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try anyway. I don't think it's gonna work because I'm pretty sure the guard will just pop into the room and auto kill us before we even get to the ladder. And as we saw in the casual playthrough, the guards have zero compunction about noticing us vertically and shooting us through floors. So, wait, no, I don't need Amy.
Come on.
Oh, that timing works out great. Okay, so... So you want to get to the dumpster. and just push it once. Basically, once she starts pushing that first dumpster, you're good. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I know Prereq. I know the Red Letter Media guys. They have a bit about third-person shooters, the default for lazy devs with a story idea but no game idea. That was definitely the case during the PS3 360 era. Like, absolutely. Like that's not even a controversial observation at all. In fact, the extra credits folks said have basically the exact same thesis in a video that they've done, and also Campster has a video about that, and Innuendo Studios has a video about that. Though it's brought more broadly into like shooter as the default, and then third person shooter is just the sort of sub default for consoles in specific, because third person shooters are a lot easier to do on consoles than first person shooters. All right. No, come on. Come on, Amy. Grab my hand. No, yeah. Yeah, he teleports to us. We can try it again. Try it again a bunch of times. Now, Spec Ops, here's the thing with Spec Ops, is I don't think... So, I've played Spec Ops The Line, how many times now? I don't know, 6, 7 times. I don't find the shooting to be nearly as mediocre as a lot of people kind of accuse it to be. Body the soldier. No, it's a trigger. It's a specific, because there's no way that he was that close behind me. So that is a hard coded insta kill, just like everything else in this level. Alright. You're getting a good look at the perils of navigating Amy around crates. Yeah, so if we go this way, so what we've got a glyph there, and we've got the door down here, and that's it. And I don't think we can't open the door, and yeah, that's all that's here. So the glyph is for mind bullets force push thing. I hit the wrong I hit the wrong L button, and rather than pushing him, I don't think I can like shove him while also then grabbing Amy in time. Like I think he would just like even if there isn't an insta kill trigger there, I think he would just recover normally in the time that it would take to grab Amy, especially since she she needs to be in a specific hand. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come on. I know the answer is no, because I've tried it a bunch of times, but I'm wondering if maybe if I get the sound bubble in, like, exactly the correct spot. Silence. Shockwave. Yeah, no. See, that's dumb. Like, that right there... the whole point is to, like, test your things. You would think that that right there would, in fact, be a valid answer to that puzzle. Like, even within the puzzle logic of the game, there should be two solutions to that. One would be hiding, and two would be using both powers in combination. Like, they don't even understand their own puzzles. It's hilarious. So there is, in fact, only one solution, which is, here, I'll let the whole thing play out. So this is how you're supposed to do it normally, and you can see how much time you, in theory, actually have waiting for that guard. So there, he just ran off to the left. Yeah, Vex. Here's the crazy thing about it. Here's the wild thing about it, is that in in the level up to this point. All right. So one of the things to notice. So at any given point in the game, when you reload a checkpoint, it gives you the game state that it expects you to have. So in this case, we have 3 silence charges and 5 shockwave charges. That's what the game expects us to have at this point, or gives us in order because it expects us to need that. In the puzzle up to, like the puzzle that we skipped leading up to here, there's actually only one point where you need to use shockwave, but it gives you 2 charges. Now, a bit of that is probably just like straight up buffer in order to, like, you know, not screw people over super hard. But it would then also make sense to just to have it as part of this puzzle, especially since there's 2 solutions to it. So it's like, all right, well, if you have 2 charges, you only used the one, and you've still got the other one when you get here. Like, you know, like let's assume you haven't died, then there you go. You can now super awesome skill get through this door without triggering the soldier.
You'll be safe there. I promise.
But no. And because the thing is that even if you had screwed up, like let's say you'd screwed up and wasted two silence charges, but you still made it to the end of the level, you still made it to that point, then it's like there still is another solution to it. I feel like maybe they took it out because they couldn't figure out how to have the two scripts side by side. Like they couldn't figure out how to have. It's like, okay, well, if the player has used silence on this, then the guard can't hear it. You know, they couldn't they couldn't figure out that condition, and so they instead just left it as a hard trigger, and then they needed to put in an insta-kill specifically to work around, you know, the other problem. Oh, hey, it's letting... Oh, no, that's right. Yeah. You can... So you can add, like... She can push the button, but nothing happens. But if Amy pushes the button... Oh, is it broken now? Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, if Amy pushes the button, it closes. So, really, really good game design, folks. Really good game design. Just fantastic game design. Alright, we're gonna bring Amy with us this time. Yeah, there we go. Oh, we got 2 Jared Letos. That's too many Jared Letos. Alright, we can just push this guy and he'll stop draining Amy, which resets the whole drain timer. The drain timer on easy is actually incredibly forgiving. So the fact that they're like sucking Amy's life force out of her right now doesn't really matter to us because we've got tons of time to just... Alright. Oh, my drink is empty. I'm sad. But I shouldn't go get another one, especially after I, like, hyper-caffeinated myself yesterday. That was bad. That was bad. So I'm gonna run around. I'm gonna run around this level a little bit and just show you some of the stuff that you don't normally see, because we never go look at it, because it's kind of weird. This boss fight level is kind of half formed. There's a few things that have happened in it, that have happened to me in it, that seem actually like really intentional. So this door behind us will sometimes close when you're putting Amy into the room, and it'll close and it won't let Lana back out. So you can't just run out into the hallway here. So that forces you to take her this way, down this hallway, into this side, and which puts you here where you can kind of see him, and then you get your first encounter with Jared Leto. Oh, he came that way. Oh, right, because the door isn't closed. You get your first encounter with him there because the door doesn't close, and so he comes around. He comes around the other side, and yeah. Now you can, if we can push him. No, come on. Yeah, this isn't really working. All right, I'm gonna just end up electrocuting myself. But so we can actually, or okay, I guess here's how I'll do it. I'll just run to the other side here. This is a way we might possibly maybe be able to speed things up, but it's a little bit more risky. So we basically bait him into doing that, and there we go. All right. Oh, he's in his shocked stagger. The thing is that I don't know if this is... Because you got to get him out kind of entirely before... Because he follows similar rules where it's like he'll only get shocked once by it, so he needs to get out of the shock zone before... So it might not... So this time, we'll stand here, we'll try to bait it, but there's a good chance that it won't shock him at all. Yeah. Oh, you've been trying it on hard? Okay, so the zombies move significantly faster, so it's impossible to escape this boss if he counters you. There are a lot of parts where the game will teleport you to make sure a guard kills you. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's just like a game. We have to hide and then run. And we can't get caught.
What's over here? Wait, what is over here? I don't think I've ever actually been in this room. Radiation area. Ah, it's just a dead end. Yeah, it's just a dead end. Alright. Let's show people stuff they probably haven't seen in a while. Okay, so... we're in the hospital that, in theory, is just a normal hospital, but, yeah, it's got this room full of, like, fetuses in jars, in, like, super science jars. It's really weird and completely unexplained. And I'm sure, don't worry, I'm sure they're going to explain it fully in in the sequel in chapter 2 in Amy part 2, the rest of the story. Oh, misstepped, died. All right. Yeah, this boss arena is terrible. I mean, it's a terrible boss arena to go with a terrible boss. My favorite part about it, actually, here I'm gonna show this off. Is that it is exactly as repetitive as it seems in the speedrun. Because come on.
It's just like a game, Mimi. We have to hide and then run.
Like the speed run, the how we handle the boss here is just how you do it. It's just how it works. So over in this room, we have a defibrillator that we're going to grab off the wall, and then we'll plant over here, and then we'll try not to die. We'll grab a syringe. We will then duck over into fetus baby room. We'll grab that syringe. We'll grab that syringe. We'll grab this defibrillator. I think I missed the first syringe. Okay. And then we'll go down this hallway. And those of you who have been watching the speed run will recognize this room, because this is the room that we used to use for killing the boss. And so we'll plant this defibrillator here, and then we'll wait for Willem to catch up to us. Alright, he gets a zap. We get in. We give him a crack to the noggin. And then it's like, okay, we're all totally super set up, right? We can just go this way and use... Oh, no, the power is out on all of these. So even if you do go and set up all of the traps, it doesn't matter, because you need to go tell Amy to turn the power back on between each of them. So it's like, why wouldn't you just set up one and then run back and forth to it? Because we gotta go turn it on. So it's just, yeah. So when I was finishing it casual, it was this kind of process of like, oh, well, okay, I could go here, and then I could lure him here, and I could then lure him over here. And it's like, nope. And also, you'll notice that we haven't actually tripped this one, but we still need to come back and turn it on again, even though it isn't the one that he ran into. So, yeah. Great game, y'all. Great game. Oh, hey, that was a nice camera glitch. That was fun. That was fun. That was a fun night. A speedrun learning curve. That was good. That was good. 45:16. Why is the zombie glowing? I don't know. Who knows? It's never explained. So the zombies have a glyph. Some of them. I shouldn't say the zombies have, because only some of them have it. Some of them have a like glyph on their forehead, so it's implied that like supernatural powers are in force. But in other places, it's just a plague. Like it's like a super plague that was developed in a government lab. And yeah, so it's all over the place. Like they throw in just bits of everything. Just bits of everything. Like they did not actually have a plan before they started. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm pretty sure in The Stolen Son I am at an attempted rape on the part of our protagonist, because he runs into this woman. Actually, no, sorry, I need to tell the story properly. He sees a man thieving a rabbit out of a trap, and so he chases the man down and like tackles him from like the top of an embankment, like a coolie. Like he's on a coolie ridge, and he like jumps and like tackles the guy, and then rolls him over and like pulls his hood off and is like, "Bwah, a woman," and it's a big reveal, and then immediately he like backhands her, and the bottom of the page 65, the last page that I read, Wayne grinned and kissed her red lips. Not just yet. I kind of like it here. It's been a hell of a long time. Oh wait, no, sorry, I need to back up. She writhed again fiercely. Get off me, you no beard. Wayne grinned and kissed her red lips. Not just yet. I kind of like it here. It's been a hell of a long time. And that was the last line that I read. I just stuck my bookmark in the next page, and I haven't read the next line. So, yeah. Yeah, no beard, because he doesn't have a beard. So, he doesn't have a beard. So he's a no beard. Is this Foundation? No, this is a contemporary of Foundation, actually, called what does he call it? The Heroic World Epic Kalevala Fantasies. Emil Pitaya wrote a series of short novels based on the Kalevala, which is the Finnish sort of cultural epic. Think Beowulf, but Finland. And so this book, The Stolen Son, it's given me a lot of Two Human flashbacks. Yeah. What was I saw a phrase in there. Somebody said something. Is this Foundation? No. Did he end up in medieval times? Sort of. He thinks he's in an ice age of some kind. So, all right, where's the explanation? Backing up a couple pages. Basically, they think that where's her name? The Witch of Pohjola has stolen the sun. That is what they suspect, is that the Witch of Pohjola has stolen the sun, and they need Wayne to kill her with his psychic Esper powers, but specifically they need to use, like, all right, this where is this? So he's basically like, all right, we can just like build a bunch of really cool space weapons and like nuke her. No, Wainamoinen said, Usi artifacts are useless against such evil as Luhai's. No, it isn't with his destructive machines that young Waino will help us. It is rather, he broke off brusquely, touching his forehead, then his heart in an odd gesture. Wayne read the gesture and felt a chill of self-contempt skittering along his spine. When Lemminkainen and Ilmarin both turned cool, stony looks on him, he knew that they understood his part in the witch battle too. Not blasters, not gaseous clouds of all-kill, no, rather the cynical cunning of the prowler through the trackless space, the predator, the world killer. Wayne had come among them to fight fire with fire, evil with evil. He must circumvent Luhe the witch hag the way these three heroes could not, with the corruption in his mind. So basically these like ancient heroes are so like pure of heart that they don't actually have the like ill will to murder her in the way that she needs to be murdered. Yeah, I don't know. I assume he's gonna use his psychic powers to like infect her brain with like, I don't know, hatred or something. I only have a hazy idea. I only have a hazy idea of what the plot even is. And I'm halfway through the book. But then after I finish The Stolen Sun, it's on to The Ship from Atlantis by H. Warner Munn, which is a super slim 117 pages. Yeah. When the Warren... Oh, I don't know if I actually read this one for everybody. Okay. When the warrior Gwalchmai? Alright, I'm typing this into chat. When the warrior Gwalchmai. And the warrior Gwalchmai set out from his homeland to bring word of new conquest to his father's emperor, he sailed into perils more strange and awesome than even the king of the world's edge had known. For Gwalchmai was cast adrift in a dread Sargasso, where ships from all the world's past were entombed, and there he found the enigmatic ship from Atlantis, last artifact of a once great civilization, and the beautiful Coronus, sorcerer and woman of star metal. Oh wait, that's her name. And the beautiful Coronus, sorcerer and woman of star metal. Together they faced a menace as old as Atlantis itself and fought to save Earth's people from the powers of ancient darkness. I think that's a hard H. Gwalchmai? No, her name isn't star metal. Her name is Coronus. She is made of star metal. She is a sorceress and woman of star metal. But her name is Coronus. Yeah. Gwalchmai? Walchmai? Gwalch? Like Reich in German. Yeah. Like Gwalchmai. Gwalchmai. Yeah. Emil Pitaya knew H.P. Lovecraft. They were in correspondence with each other, and were planning. They were planning a magazine. Like they were gonna start a new like sci-fi short fiction magazine, and then the project kind of petered out, and then Lovecraft died. Gwalchmai, according to this website I'm on, that Gwalchmai. Yeah, I can see Gwalchmai. I don't know if Gwalchmai is a word that I want to come out of my mouth too many more times, but I'm probably going to keep saying it because, I mean, Gwalchmai. Is he as racist as Lovecraft? I don't know. No, I can't tell. I mean, he spends the first bunch of the book, like the first part, the first 40 pages, genociding the Mafidi. Like, but he feels bad about it. You know, he goes down to the planets and drops all kill bombs, but he's like one of the only people who can actually like pull off these dangerous genocide missions because he's like integrated with his ship because he's a super esper. And so, but then on like his last mission, what goes on? A something makes psychic contact with him. He thinks it's like a child Mafidi reaches out to him psychically or something. He's not quite sure, but then he's like, oh man, I feel bad. And he hesitates on pulling the trigger on the bombs, and then he blows up the bombs anyway, but they get ambushed by an enemy ship, and his wingman dies, and he feels really super bad about genocide and his wingman dying, and so he hits the his hand reaches out for the lever marked time skip, and sets it to infinity and winds up in the past or something. I don't know. I'm interested to find where it goes. So I'm gonna go read. I'm probably gonna go. Well, I say I'm gonna go read. I'm probably gonna go finish. Like, it's a really short read. I'm gonna go finish The Stolen Sun by Emil Pitaya so that I can do my book report. I can do my book report on The Stolen Sun and let you all know what the hell is actually going on. Thanks everybody for coming out for Speedrun Learning Curve this week. That was incredibly hype. Look at that. 8 weeks. We've gone from an hour 25:41 down to 45 minutes 16. 3 seconds faster than last week's world record, which required me to get super duper lucky with a like 1 in 1,000 glitch. So hype. I'm glad that there is now no longer an asterisk next to that. And yeah. So we will see you all next year. Also I'm fairly certain that what is the when is AGDQ 2018? We got the event schedule. It's on the 7th. It starts on the 7th. So that is January. That is 2 weeks out. So we'll see what we're doing on that week. We might just do a like watch along stream and like take notes, or I might pull highlights or something, and we'll do something a little bit more academic because it is Speedrun Learning Curve. So we might do something a little bit more academic that week, just because it is AGDQ. Chisical subscribed with $4.99. Thanks. Oh, and we didn't. Oh, so this will be an all-encompassing one for everything tonight. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everything. All of that. Dank. Dank. Take care, everyone. We will see you on Monday for the regular stream, or next Wednesday for Speedrun. Take care, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year.